Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. And in my family, there are 5 members. Vanessa,
Dan,
Dodger,
Pippin,
and Luna. But we have room for one more in our apartment, right?
Right.
So it's true.
We're having a baby!
So we wanted to share this exciting news with you and also include some English because this is a big time in our lives and it's something that maybe a lot of you have experienced too. So in this video, we're going to share with you some information about our future baby and also some polite and rude questions that you can ask someone who's pregnant. A lot of people ask me questions nowadays, so I want to help you ask polite questions, not rude questions. So are you ready to start with some polite questions?
I'm ready.
Okay.
The most common question is, when are you due?
Oh, so this question means, when is the baby coming? If you imagine a homework assignment, maybe your teacher said, this assignment is due next week. Due means it needs to be finished.
It must come.
Yes, so it's the same for a baby. We say, when are you due? Or when is the baby due? It's most common to say, when are you due? And when are we due?
We are due July 8th.
Oh, it's coming nice and soon.
Whoa. Another common question is, how far along are you?
And this means, how long have you been pregnant? And for me, I have been pregnant for about 5 months, a little bit less than 5 months. So when someone asks me, Vanessa, how far along are you? I can say 5 months. It doesn't mean that the baby will come after 5 months. It means that I have been pregnant for 5 months.
Do we usually say months? Or do we say weeks?
Well, I think that if you're talking to someone else who's pregnant, usually they count each week 15 weeks, 20 weeks. But most people don't really know immediately 20 weeks equals 5 months. So 5 months. Usually you can just say months. But some women might say weeks if they want to be really specific.
Right. The next question is, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling actually pretty good.
It's a very general question.
Yeah, usually this is physically how are you feeling, especially if you ask the woman, the one who's pregnant, because typically the first 3 months, maybe you feel really tired or kind of sick. And for me, I felt pretty tired and
Pretty sick.
kind of sick. I didn't eat that much. I just ate crackers and muffins for about a month or 2 months. But now it's a little bit further into my pregnancy, so I feel a lot better. I have more energy. We can do more stuff together, be more active, because I just feel more alive.
I feel fine.
Yeah, how do you feel?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah, how do you mentally feel? Because how do you feel could be physically or mentally. So how do
Right.
you feel about being a father?
I feel mostly excited, definitely.
Yeah.
This is something I've always wanted. I knew I wanted to be a dad, and I like Vanessa a lot, so I think she'll be a great mother. So for the most part, I'm maybe a little nervous, just because I think pregnancy and giving birth is kind of scary in general.
It's a big deal.
But yeah, this kind of thing I enjoy. I think I'll, for the most part, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a new adventure.
Another question that's okay to ask if somebody is pregnant is, are you going to find out the gender?
So this means, are you going to find out if it's a boy or a girl before you give birth? And today we are both wearing, I have some pink, Dan has some blue.
Classic.
And the answer for us is, are we going to find out the gender?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. So next week, we're filming this now, but next week we're going to find out the gender. So before I post this video, we will definitely know the gender of our baby. At the moment, we don't know, but
Yep.
when you watch this video, we will know. So I want you to guess in the comments below, what do you think?
Yeah, do we look like we'll have a boy or a girl?
Do you think our child is a boy or a girl? And I want to give you the correct answer. At the moment, I don't know. But when I post this video, we will know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a blog post to go along with this video that will include all of the questions, and it will include the answer from our doctor's visit next week. So next week we'll find out, but when you watch this, the answer will be revealed. So you can click on the link in the description below this video, or at the end of the video, I'll post a link so that you can click on it and see if your guess is correct.
Woo!
So what do you think? Do you think we're gonna have a boy or a girl?
I think my initial hunch or my initial idea was a girl, but because I think I might be wrong, I'm saying a boy.
Okay, and because we like to be competitive and we like to win, I'm gonna guess the opposite. So my guess is a girl and Dan's guess is a boy.
Yes.
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
I think it's a pretty much a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, so I have a 50% chance of being correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you too.
So do I.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Some people like to ask more detailed questions, such as, are you taking birthing classes?
So this question has to do with the kind of preparation that you're gonna do. So in the US, it's pretty common to take birthing classes, and that means just how to give birth, some kind of techniques, maybe breathing or some mental techniques, something to help your partner help you. Yes. And for us, the answer is yes. We haven't started yet because it's too soon, but shortly we will be taking a local birthing class. It's actually pretty long. It's 6 weeks for 3 hours each time.
Yeah.
But they
you gotta prepare the new mothers and fathers.
Yeah, they don't just talk about how to give birth. This class talks about how to nurse, how to be a parent, what kind of things your baby might need
How
that
to
you don't know
organize
about.
your house.
Yeah, so it's pretty detailed. So in the US, going to a birth class or a birthing class is pretty common. And for us, we're not going to a hospital. We're going to a birth center to give birth, to have the baby. So it's a little bit different, but it's connected to the hospital, but it's a place kind of like a little house.
A little more cozy.
Yeah, it's a little more comfortable and relaxing, and it's only for giving birth. There's no one else there. It's only us, the midwives, and anyone who we want to come with us. So it's pretty open, but hopefully it will be a positive experience.
Another more detailed question somebody might ask you is, have you thought about names yet?
And this is kind of a personal question, I feel like, because a lot of couples in the US don't tell people their baby names until the baby's born. So for us, we've thought about names, but we haven't really talked to many people about it. Maybe some close family if they ask us that question, but typically we don't really share that information.
I'm a little more open about it.
Yeah,
I have talked with coworkers about names, so it's just a preference, I think.
It is a preference. It's not rude to ask someone, have you thought about names? But I think if you said, what names do you like? It could be a little too direct because a lot of people, at least in the US, don't like to share that too much because it's a personal choice.
Another more detailed question that's okay to ask, maybe for friends and family, is, do you have a preference, boy or girl?
So in this question, you're asking someone, do you want a girl? Do you want a boy? Which one do you want? So some people, when they have asked me this, they say this a little bit hesitantly, like, oh, do you want a boy or a girl? Oh, maybe I shouldn't ask. They feel a little hesitant about asking that because it kind of implies that if I say, I want a girl, it implies that if I have a boy, I won't be happy. So in reality, I will be happy with a boy, I'll be happy with a girl, but sometimes you have a little preference yourself, what you want.
Do you?
Oh, it's hard to say. I can imagine both lives with a boy and with a girl. Do you have a preference?
I don't know. I'm really in between. Maybe a little bit more leaning towards a girl. Yeah.
And
Just a little bit, because I don't know. I feel like I will feel much more warm and loving towards a girl, but with a boy I will be like, how can I shape this boy into being a man? A little more of a duty kind of feeling with a boy.
And I think for me, if I had a boy, I don't have any brothers. So growing up with a boy and helping a son will be a completely new experience for me. So both could be completely new challenges. So some people feel like it might be rude to ask this, but if you are friends or family with the person, or if you just say it with a smile on your face, it's not a big deal. It's just a preference. In the end, you just want a healthy baby.
There are also some kind of rude questions, maybe rude, especially if you don't know the person very well. Maybe if they're really, really good friends, you could ask this, but you probably should be careful.
Yeah.
Such as, was it easy to get pregnant?
And it's interesting because each of these rude questions, people have already asked me them.
Ooh.
And I try not to be offended easily, and it doesn't really bother me. But I just want to let you know that it can be kind of rude. So you probably shouldn't tell someone or ask someone this. But when you ask someone, was it easy to get pregnant? Some people really want a baby. They really want to get pregnant, and maybe it takes a couple months or a couple years sometimes to get pregnant. So for those people, they probably feel really sensitive about this topic because it's a big deal. They're always thinking about it and worrying or caring about it. So I would be very hesitant to say this to anyone unless you're a family member or someone really close to them.
Yeah, and in that case, you'll probably already know.
Yep, you'll probably already know.
The next question that's pretty rude is to ask, was it an accident?
So this is saying,
Were you an accident?
were you planning to get pregnant? And I think this question is rude because, first of all, it's pretty personal, but also because it implies that if it is an accident, that you don't want your baby because you were not planning to get pregnant. So I think a lot of people, if it was an accident, they don't want to say yes because it implies that they don't want their baby, they weren't planning for their baby. But certainly for us, if you might know, I like to plan a lot, my life. So for us, it was not an accident.
Nope.
And for me, I don't feel strange answering this question because it was not an accident. But when you ask someone, you don't really know if it's an accident or not. So I recommend not asking this to someone who's pregnant unless you really know them well.
Yeah, and accident is a very common way to describe getting pregnant without a plan.
Yes.
All right, the next pretty rude question to ask is, are you happy?
So this has a lot of rude connotations, and someone has asked me this already, and I feel like it's rude because it implies that you shouldn't be happy or there's some problem. Like, are you happy? And maybe for them, they don't want to have a baby yet. They're not ready. It's not a good time in their life. So they're kind of reflecting that by asking you, are you happy? How do you feel? Because for them, maybe they don't want to have a baby yet, so they can't imagine what that's like. So instead, if you want to ask about someone's emotional feelings, I recommend asking with a smile, very kindly, oh, how do you feel about being a mother? Or how do you feel about being a parent?
That's the polite way.
That's really polite. And some people have asked us that too. Wow, this is a new stage in your life. How do you feel? How do you feel about being a mother? And that's really nice. A smile, polite, and they're not implying you shouldn't be happy.
It leaves it open-ended.
Yes, yes.
Are you happy? The final rude statement, which you should probably never say to a woman, period, is, wow, you're so big. You must be due soon.
Yeah, so actually someone has not asked me this yet because...
She's not very big.
Yeah, my body's not very big yet, but someone asked my friend this or told my friend this. She was walking in the parking lot and she was 7 months pregnant, so she still had 2 months until she was going to give birth. And a stranger said to her, "Wow, you're so big. I think the baby's coming soon." And she was thinking, I have to wait 2 more months. I know my body's big. I'm tired. I don't have much energy. You don't need to tell me that. So this is something that I'm sure you wouldn't really tell someone, but in some cultures, it might be more common to comment about someone's physical appearance. But in the US, for women especially not, but for pregnant women, they might feel sensitive about their changing body. Because for me, my body's not that big right now, but my body is bigger than I have ever been because this is just a new thing in my life. So maybe some women feel much more sensitive about this. So don't comment about her physical size.
We also have a bonus situation to share. Maybe something rude you shouldn't do. And what is that?
Well, from my experience, I think a lot of people are curious about a pregnant woman's belly because it's a miracle. It's something incredible that you're growing another human inside of you. And your body looks different. So a lot of people want to touch a pregnant woman's belly.
Rub the belly.
Yes. And in the US, for some people, they don't care. They're fine with people touching their belly. But I recommend just ask. If you're curious, if you're a close friend or a good friend, say, "Do you mind if I touch your belly? Can I touch your belly? Is it okay if I touch your belly?" And usually if you ask this, it's not a problem because you're already a friend and you're asking. But some people just touch. They just touch your belly, and this is a kind of breaking a social barrier because usually we don't touch each other, even friends. You don't just touch their body.
Well, sometimes friends just touch each other.
Yeah, especially if you're pregnant though, it's kind of a sensitive thing. So I recommend if you want to do this or if it's normal in your country to touch a pregnant woman's belly, just ask. Ask first and make sure that you're good friends. Before we go, I just wanted to explain a little bit about how I will be able to teach English and have a baby at the same time because I want to continue teaching you English and that's my passion. I don't want to stop. So I have a great plan of preparing a lot of materials in advance. I've already got a lot of exciting videos prepared, some interviews, some special locations we're going to talk about. So there's a lot of exciting material coming up.
We're doing the work now,
Yes.
so we can take a break later with the baby.
So probably in the month of July, I will take a little break from live videos, but after that, we'll see what happens. I plan to continue to be active and to continue to share English in the real world with you. That's the goal.
Thank you for watching, everyone. And if you'd like, take a look in the comments below and write down if you think we will have a boy or a girl.
Yes, write your prediction. And then after you write your prediction, no cheating. You can click on the blog post in the description or at the end of this video and find out the real answer. For me, when we film this, I'm just so curious.
I know.
Very curious. And I want
It's driving me crazy.
I want to meet our child. I'm curious what they will be like. Do you think our child will have brown hair or red hair, straight hair or curly hair?
What color eyes?
What color eyes? Brown eyes? Green eyes? Our physical features are pretty different. So our child will be a very interesting looking child, probably. So please write a comment below and let us know. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? What color hair? What color eyes? What is your prediction? And click on the blog post to find out. Thanks so much for sharing this special time with us, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.
Bye.